Sup, everybody? This is Karak with ACG, and I'm here with Takedown from
Take down TKD Gaming. That's the one.
TKD Gaming is the one. Want to make sure you remembered his own URL. And
I nearly
we're going to
forgot
do the
it.
Banter Files. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. One of the things we want to talk about is Tyson Fury fighting Wilder, what we thought of those fights. Going to talk a little bit about damage to people, UFC versus boxing, which we believe is actually ultimately more dangerous to the combatant. Going to talk about Hugh Hefner dumping his porn stash and what we think might have been within those tapes, if that turns out to be true, and a couple other things as well. If you guys have something that you want us to talk about, feel free to put it in the chat in either Discord or in Twitch, and we will get to it. Also, thanks to everybody who this morning jumped onto the current video on YouTube and discussed low-level or street-level enemies and which ones they liked the best. We may discuss that as well here, just depending on what we have. Before we begin, though, thanks to all the patrons. Thanks to everybody who subscribes to either one of us. We definitely appreciate it. So what have you been doing? Takedown?
I've been playing video games and more video games with some other video games on the side.
And more and more and more.
Just
What have
video
you been
games,
playing?
video games. Lego DC Villains mainly because I didn't realize how long it is. It's taken me 10 hours to get through the story so far.
You liking it so far?
Best Lego game ever made, yeah. Ever. My
Yeah,
favorite, at least.
It's pretty insane how well it was done. Was there any particular characters you went with? Like you liked?
Anyone who was voiced by someone I know in
right.
the,
Okay.
so Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, John Barrowman.
Mm-hmm. And not Tom Clancy.
Oh yeah,
sorry, Clancy Brown.
Tom Clancy.
Clancy
Brown.
Clancy Brown. Yeah, does voice Tom Clancy. That'd be. I think Tom Clancy's dead. Now that I think about it, probably would be very creepy. Yeah, man, it's awesome. I think a lot of people look at the Lego movies and the Lego games as just for children, but when you look at like Batman, the Lego, we've talked about this, but you look at the Batman movie, that thing was fucking amazing. Yes, Citizen Sleeve, Clancy Brown does rock. He rocks in everything. That's the thing. I don't think he's been bad at anything.
SpongeBob, Detroit.
Which of the movies have you liked the best for Lego? Did you like the Batman one?
I think I preferred the Lego movie to the Batman Lego movie, but I like them both.
The official Lego movie.
Yeah, because that was more original.
Everything is awesome. Is that the one we're talking about?
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with Will Ferrell in.
I just liked it when they always start out with a song, but when it starts, the world is spinning in Batman, and he starts banging his head as the music begins. And he's like, dun, dun, dun. And then he's like, who does this? Batman! Batman! Who's got an 8-pack? Batman! It's like, it's so well done. The
comedy was really good.
Level of cheese. Yeah, when he's eating that lobster, Thermidor, by himself in his boat, like he's got his little stealth boat, and there's all these amazing things, and he's just by himself eating it. Or he's laughing at, what's the Tom Cruise, Renee Zellweger movie? She says, "You complete me," and he just laughs. He's just like, ha, 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 and then looks around and realizes nobody's there. I love that shit.
So the sad scene.
Yeah, the sad scene when when Tom Cruise comes in and tells Renee that she completes him. But yeah, man, I think that they appear to be more goofy, but they're really, I don't know. They are, but they.
It's my favorite DC film.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's better than any live action DC film by a mile.
I would agree. Are you talking about you're talking about their Lego ones being better than Batman, and Superman and yeah.
Not their cartoon animated.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was sort of trying to figure out because we've both been fans of. Matter of fact, I could be wrong, but you either got me into them or maybe back into them because I remember we were talking and we were.
The animated series.
Yeah. They're fucking amazing. Like there's only maybe 2 or 3 I felt was, Death of Superman Part 1, which is I don't even think Part 2's out yet. That one I wasn't in love with.
I haven't seen that one yet. Personally.
Gotham by Gaslight. That's
good.
Amazing. The twist at the end was just like
that was a real shock.
Yeah,
how good it was.
It was movie level, right? Is there any others you like out of that?
All of the animated films apart from the Batman and Harley Quinn one I didn't like at all.
Okay, gotcha.
I haven't seen Batman Japan one, but I've heard that's not very good.
I've heard that's not very good, yeah.
And all the rest of them I like. They're just excellent. Even the Green Lantern ones, cartoons, the Justice League ones, the Flash ones.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see how they've sort of branched out and been able to do so many things, and sort of get I guess get all these different characters into the cartoons and do such a good job. They not only do they have like a lot of characters, but I think overall they've done a good job separating and having a couple stories that were on the side for some side characters. They also had, I think they did a Phantom Stranger mini. They have like 6 minis, which are like 15-minute longs shows as well, which I just find to be really cool, like a good way of doing things.
Yeah, they're very good. Nice. It's amazing how they do those so well, but they fuck up the films so bad. It's so strange.
Right. Do you think, though, it's because, I mean, animation costs a lot, but I bet you it's nowhere near, and they, for some reason, think they have to be overly bombastic with the movies? Because, like, Gotham by Gaslight as a movie would have been incredible.
Yeah, I think I agree, yeah.
I mean, it just seems like it's where they're worried about money or something. Like even though those probably return their cash, I would say they probably make a ton of money from the investment. I mean, you know, because they're selling the DVDs. It's on their streaming. Are those on their streaming service? Do you know?
They're on Amazon. I don't know.
They're on Amazon.
Else.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, very cool. I'm trying to remember any others that I disliked. I mean, there was a couple, but overall,
Assault on Arkham was all right, but it wasn't my favorite.
I don't remember that one.
That's basically the DC character, the villains, like the Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so
breaking into Arkham.
Yeah, wasn't a huge fan of that one either. Sorry for the yawn. Yeah. Overall, though, I have to say it's very cool to see a company do that. Do we have anything like that from the Avengers? The Marvel side?
They've got loads of cartoons and little films, but it's because the DC animated movies are brilliant and the DC live is shit, but the Marvel animated is shit, I find, but the live action are brilliant. It's a total opposite.
No, that's exactly, I would agree, and I would say that one feels like a cartoon, the Avengers ones, and the DC ones feel almost like a mini movie. I don't know if it's I don't know. It's almost like the Avenger ones are 1980s cartoons at Saturday morning kind of thing. And then
Saturday morning cartoons, definitely.
Yeah, the DC ones just have this unique feel to them, this unique sound to them. So yeah, it's very cool. Let's see, what else you been doing other than that?
Playing Dragon Ball. Did 4 tournaments in a week last week. That was exhausting. Nothing else really. Pretty much just playing games.
So for me, I have been, let's see, getting ready for Christmas, buying presents, most of it online. I'm too like, what do you call it?
I mean, do you have any shopping centers near you? I've never really asked.
We do, but you know, I don't know about you, but it's where you get the influx of people, especially in this time frame. And I've never found that the deals are worth it. Like, I can find a deal equal on Amazon or on Walmart online if I buy something at Walmart, which I don't, but it's just, that's one of the big stores, Best Buy, what have you. I can usually find the deals there and then like not have to fight with crowds, not have to, you know, I just know what I want too. I'm one of those buyers that I don't shop as much as get, if that makes sense. So,
you don't get impulse buys. You do. I know you.
Yeah. Well, I do from home, but for the most part, I actually still already know what I want. Like I don't. Like,
you just get more of it rather than less.
Right. Yeah. And so I would say, with ours, we have one somewhat large shopping mall, but nothing big in my state. Nothing like some of the malls of America. Do you guys?
We've got the biggest one near me, and I went there today, and it was just manic.
Oh, really? Why did you go there? Because I thought you weren't a fan either. I thought you'd be like...
I'm not. I hate it, but there's a cookie place that does cookies I like, so I thought, I'll get cookies. That's about it.
What the fuck? So you braved people...
I can't get things like that. Yeah, I can't get things like that delivered to me like you seem to be able to.
Yeah, we're able to get most things.
I can, but I can get it from Amazon or something, and it will be here in a couple of days. But I went down there and just bought 5 cookies and ate them all, and then went home.
So, do you just battle the fuck out of people to get in? I mean, are you just horse blinder kind of thing?
It's not that. It gets that bad at Christmas, but today it wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay.
You can tell when it's bad based on public transport, based on how many people are standing outside of the bus stops. You can tell how packed.
When you're in one of the big malls over there, are people cordial? Most likely, are people polite? No. Okay.
No. You have to be like, I have to elbow people and push past people and be very aggressive.
I will say,
which I don't mind doing personally.
Yeah, either do I. I will say that the one nice thing for others, but not for me, is that most people are nice in our malls. So, example, you walk around, they'll be like, "Hi," or morning. Like you'll be walking by somebody, make eye contact, and somebody's just like morning. You're like morning back. What happens to me though is I get frustrated by that. I actually get frustrated by the nice people, and I'm like,
yeah, same.
Like because you meet eyes so easily. It's so easily if two people are walking towards each other to a mall. If you're staring at each other, it's going to look weird anyway. So you interlude with the sup, and then pretty soon you find yourself going, hi, hey, what's up? Hi, sup? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, how are you? And you sound like a fucking idiot.
That does not happen.
Really? Yeah, that definitely happens.
It doesn't down south, but up north, I'm sure Sleeve will confirm. But up north, people are much more
cordial,
knowing each other and more friendly and more like, hey, how you doing? Well, have a conversation. But down here, that doesn't happen. You get on public transport down in London, no one's going to talk to you. They're going to avoid you.
You want to know something crazy? In our malls, because the food courts don't a lot of times have a ton of seats, you'll be eating your burrito, right? You're on the run, you just get something fast from Taco Bell, and people will just walk right up and sit down next to you because there's not enough seats. So you have to get accustomed to and then that's what turns into conversation. I think
that's what happens here as well.
Yeah, that's
so I'll put something on the seat next to me so nobody can sit next to me, and I'll give them the stink eye so they just
pretend like you're the kid on the bus who pretends that somebody's sitting there, even though they're obviously not, because they would have to be invisible.
Or just start shouting or screaming at myself, pretending I've got some sort of special condition, and people won't want to sit next to me.
Yeah, that is not something I would do. I don't mind it, but I don't.
It depends.
Type of situation
if I'm in McDonald's or something, I don't mind. If I'm in a restaurant or a cafe, I do mind.
Yeah. Have you ever heard actors talk about, people and how dickish somebody can be when an actor's eating with their kids? Some stories are crazy. I mean, people coming up and directly sitting down and being like, "Can I get a picture?" And they're all, "No, I don't do photos. I'm having dinner with my wife." And they get pissy. They're like, "How dare you? You're a fucking jackass!" Blah blah blah. And you're just like, "Wow, man!" That's why I would be arrested for assault so quick.
I'd hate that. I'd hate to be famous for that.
Yeah, it's I would get so irate so quickly if people started acting like that. Sleeve says, yeah, up north it's usually, but London, nobody cares.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody will talk to you in London.
I think when it gets the bigger and more tighter group of people, that's when it starts to go away. If you have a little space, it's fine. It's if you're fucking this far away from somebody, I think that's when shit starts to go down. Get a little too close.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So yeah, Christmas I've been doing tech stuff, YouTube stuff, not much else. Watching Friends again. Rewatching Friends.
Yes.
Yeah, Joey last night. Chandler talks Joey into making his stage name Joseph Stalin. And I've never laughed that hard because Joey's so dumb. And the actor plays, Matt LeBlanc plays Joey so dumb so well, and I love seeing Chandler fuck with him consistently. He walks in and they're all talking about, if you were omnipotent, what would you do? And he comes in and they're like, if you were omnipotent, what would you do? And he's like, probably kill myself, because if little Joey isn't working, then why would big Joey stay alive? And they're like, no, omnipotent. And he's like, you are? I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And you're all, Jesus, he's just not getting it. He's no matter what, he's not getting it.
Yeah, it's good.
Purple Mango, do you ever get attacked? Attacked is what I thought he said. Do you ever get approached on the street? I did. At GDC, nice kid. GDC a couple times, and then here in my own hometown, I was buying fittings. This is how nerdy I am. I was buying fittings to make my own lightsaber. I always want to create shit. I get really bored if I'm not building something. And there was create your own lightsaber from parts at your warehouse from your local hardware store. So I'm down there and I hear this whispering, and there's two guys looking, and they're pointing at me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they came up and they were like, are you Karak with ACG? And that was, we don't live in a huge town. So that was sort of cool that they did it. I particularly thought I was
up Karak of ACG.
Yeah.
You gave him the line.
Yeah. I did go well, yeah, that's the username I used. But yes. I think they pretty much figured out from the beard and the beanie. Other than that, let's jump in. What do we got for weird news?
There's one article I found. Japanese cafe uses robots controlled by paralyzed people. I didn't really read much because I wanted to be surprised by what this means.
Yeah, read that sucker.
A cafe staffed by robot waiters controlled remotely by paralyzed people has opened in Tokyo, Japan. A total of 10 people with a variety of conditions that restrict their movement have helped control robots in the Dawn Vare Cafe. The robot's controllers earned 1,000 yen, £7 per hour, the standard rate for pay of waiting staff in Japan.
That's actually pretty interesting. I like that idea.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because robots are going to fuck up occasionally, right? Like you can fuck a robot up pretty easily with noise interruption in their visual spectrums and their audio spectrums. So, but you'd have a person running. What do they mean by thought, though? Are they using the little ringlets that, like, you know, generically you're able to move the robot around, or because he said, didn't they say controlled by their mind?
No, it doesn't say anything about how they control them remotely. So maybe with a remote control.
Maybe it's like, you know, if it's a person who's paralyzed, you know, from the neck down, maybe it's somebody with the blow straw for, like, people use for wheelchairs and stuff. They can get quite detailed in how they can move with that. That's cool.
There's another robot. Oh, it's in a Japanese article.
What is it?
I can't read Japanese.
Oh, it's in Japanese. Yeah. Sorry about that.
And I'm looking for a translation because this looks really interesting. The robots look quite small as well. I just find it funny. There's like 10 disabled people in a row, sitting there with monitors in front of them all day, just controlling a robot.
It looks amazing. What's that Tom Cruise movie where he can see the future?
Minority Report.
Minority Report, yeah. And because wasn't it 3 people who never got out? They 3 kids with ESP who were like the power supply. They were the ones who were like noticing all the crime, and they're the ones that the people jacked into to sort of figure out what was going to go on.
Yeah. It says the Oriheim D robots transmit video, images, and audio via the internet, so their controllers can be controlled at home. So they're at home, the people controlling them.
No shit. That's cool.
So what if they're halfway through their order and they decide they need to go to the toilet and they just leave the robot in the middle of the room and everyone's like, "What's the robot doing?"
Maybe the robot has an automatic thing. Have you ever seen a Roomba? The I almost called them lawnmower, but the carpet cleaners that are robotic.
Oh yeah.
If you fuck one of those up, they'll always go home. Like, so if you put it in a place it doesn't sort of figure out, it'll still know overall where it is, and it'll try to get back to its base station. So maybe that's what happens. Your order'd be fucked, maybe. Like, as it drives off with your hamburger, and you're all, bitch, turn around. What the hell?
Wait, I'll send you this. See if you can post it in the chat. I can't. It's a video of the robots delivering to their customers.
Oh yeah, let me check it out. Oh, no shit. That is odd. Yeah, let me. Whoa, posted it twice. Whatever. It's in there twice. Huh. I mean, that's cool though, right? Like,
yeah, it's really good.
I think I know a couple people on America's version of this. I don't know what yours is, but America's is called Social Security. And then you have military disability. And, you know, depending on the level of disability and stuff, you know, a lot of people do find that the quality of life goes down because they are getting money and they're not doing anything. Like, it's hard to decide what to do when you have no job, you know, or you're not able to work in a certain way. So the idea of still having input with people, and, you know, even if it is through a robot, it's actually very cool. I like the idea. I love how the Japanese are just like, it barely works, but we're going to do it anyway. Like, in America, they probably wouldn't do it because people expect it to be perfect. And I bet you in Japan, if a robot fucks up, they'd just be like, it's okay. Like, just try again. And they'd be fine with it. Any other weird news?
Yeah. There's a new term going around called blackfishing.
And what did you say that was?
It's a term used for someone accused of pretending to be black or mixed race on social media.
Oh, I see what you mean. So, like, people lying about their race for whatever reason. Like what? Yeah. Like what race they are. That's interesting. I don't know half of these social terms. Like, I don't even, and I'm not on those kind of medias. I'm on, hey, what's up, Death Flames? I'm on you know, Facebook and on LinkedIn of all things, and on here. So I don't hear about that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's
you're on the adult ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, why the fuck would you lie anyway? Somebody's going to figure it out. I mean, unless it's like, you know, some people.
It's not. I think it's more like a white woman wearing fake tan that makes her look darker. She's not claiming to be black, but she's looking darker when she's not really that dark.
For attention, or for some.
Yeah, just for her Instagram photos.
So, it is crazy how many people pretend things. There's like, you know, Social Security in particular looks into fraud for people pretending to be hurt. Military disability, people pretend to be hurt. People pretend to have massive illnesses. I don't know if you heard, but here in America, a lady pretended to have cancer for a Kickstarter, or a GoFundMe. She did the GoFundMe, got the money, and then they found out that she didn't have cancer.
That's just rude.
Yeah, that's rude. That's why I always tell people, like, it's rude to the original person. You know, if you cry something, if you say this was assault, and it really wasn't, then in a weird way, that does harm the people who have true assault. Like, that's why I always believe it's like, if you're gonna accuse somebody, you need to be 100% sure of what you're accusing them of, what words you use and stuff like that. So yeah. That's weird. Never heard that.
No.
But I want to talk about Hugh Hefner supposedly going out prior to his death and dumping an entire porn stash in the ocean, ignoring the illegal part of that, because obviously I'm sure that wasn't sanctioned. What kind of porn do you think that was? Because it had to have been him with all the playmates, right? Him with movie stars. Dude, he was banging Holly Madison, like, with the Playboy Bunnies TV show for 7 seasons, I think. And she was a smoke show, and they were together for, like, I think 7 years. And, like, I bet you, I mean, I'm just assuming, right, that he filmed that. Assuming he filmed everything. Who knows what else he filmed? Do you think when movie stars went up there, they were probably, like, secretly filming them too? I've thought about that. Blackmail material.
Probably. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the things you'd always have to worry about in a place where the guy owns it the entire time. Like, every place feels like it'd be wired. Are you looking it up?
I'm looking at Holly Madison, see who she even is.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Is she an actress? Let's have a look.
Not really. I mean, sort of like a side actress. Now, she's from Oregon, strangely enough.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. But no, I just find it funny because imagine the shit that's up there. Like him getting a BJ from Willow Offgood from the movie. You never quite know exactly what was happening. Are you finding it?
I'm looking.
I wonder if Hugh, though, especially because he's surrounded by all these, I apologize, around all these people. What's up, Babsy? I'm wondering if possibly, you know, maybe he just was, maybe there was, I mean, his only creep factor was, you know, being with the super young chicks, you know, legal, but I'm just saying, like, maybe he just dumped that, and maybe there was no blackmail material in there. But I like to think, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, I love to think that he was dumping a bunch of fucking videos of Tom Cruise, you know, humping Richard Gere or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? And dumping them, and like in a year, somebody's going to get a submersible, go down there, and with new technology, figure out a way to fucking pull the data off. Like, if they're CDs, for example, if they were CDs, then there probably would be a way, depending on how fast you got there. I don't know. Saltwater probably eats through a CD really quick, but yeah, dude, a lot of blackmail material in there, I bet. Well, because
that'd be interesting.
Wasn't Heidi Fleiss? Do you remember her? Do you remember the shit about that? It might be before. It wasn't before your time, but it wasn't recent. But she was the madame, the chick who runs a brothel, basically, and she turned on a bunch of people too. So they've all done that kind of stuff. What's up, Purple Mango? Like the moon landing, conspiracy theories. I don't think in any way, shape, or form you can argue that we landed on the fucking moon, but that's just me. Thank you very much, Dark Galileo, for the bits. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who subscribes also. Can you throw me your link in the Discord, TK? And I will be able to do it. I've got it up in the browser window.
What did you say about moon landings?
Oh, they were saying that when I said I was a conspiracy theorist, they were like, you mean like the moon landings? And I said, I don't think there's any real shadow of a doubt that we landed on them.
Oh, you think we do? Okay, good.
Of course.
Good. So I thought you were going to say you don't think we do. I was about to drop the call. I was about to be like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
talking to karak right now.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Like, I think conspiracy theories, in a way, in the old days, used to be a defense against mystery, and now I think most conspiracy theories feel like the desire to like have a mystery in life. There's not a lot of mysteries left, so it's like if somebody comes into my house and a shoe slightly moves on the ground and I don't know why, it's like, that's a mystery. It's like, no, man, science explains a lot. And I think that really does destroy shit. Like, that's why I don't believe in telling kids, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong in Twitch. I'll still argue with you. But I don't believe in telling a kid Santa's not real until they're much older. Like, I've heard stories about, like, a kid being barely able to talk and somebody's like, Santa's not real. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Sometimes I believe those dreams are actually good. There's nothing wrong with, like, as a kid, believing in magic. I used to believe there was real magic. Like, you could cast spells and
so
shit.
did I when I was young.
Yeah. And there's, I'm talking about like last week, but anyway.
Well, okay.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I don't know if it's true now. I can't trust anything you say now.
Cat Sleeve
magic's real.
says, what's your guys' guilty little pleasure when it comes to conspiracy theories? Okay. That's a good question. Yeah. What's something you believe?
I don't think there's anything I believe that is a conspiracy theory.
You think most of what you believe is based in facts that you've read or science?
I don't know if it's that or the fact I just don't think any conspiracy theory is legit.
Why?
I don't know them all.
Why do you
think? Loads.
Yeah, but just the ones you know of. Why do you think that you feel that like they're not legit?
Because all the ones I know are the flat Earth, the moon landing. The ones I know are the ridiculous ones that I wouldn't even have 2 seconds to talk about, wasting my time.
To me, I don't know if you agree, but I honestly do believe that many conspiracy theories require too many people to not talk, and that humans are incredibly leaky as devices of knowledge. Like, we leak knowledge. And I think that you get enough people together, 20 people, 30 people. For example, Osama bin Laden being killed, it didn't take very long for a Navy SEAL to write a book about it, even though they're not supposed to, right? So I just feel that shit, it gets out. It gets out. It's
like the Area 51 having aliens all these years. Like, that would come out. Someone in the government would say something at some point.
And instead it's turned into, well, we did stealth there. And then that makes sense because you see these vehicles, you hear these weird stories and stuff like that. And let's see, Abzi says, I believed in the tooth fairy until grade 2. I mean, nothing wrong with that. My mom, I think we talked about this in the last podcast, didn't we? Where like our parents finally told us, or maybe it was somebody else, but my parents finally told me that like they were the ones hiding the quarter. I said, under my pillow.
I can't remember how that went down.
Do you remember how old you were when they crushed your dreams and were like, Santa, this giant fat dude, doesn't come and deliver presents to you?
Yeah, you don't get some fat pedo coming down your chimney every year.
Do you remember?
I think I'll be relieved. I can't remember, no.
Did you have any conversations with your parents that were really uncomfortable when you grew up, like sex? Do you remember your sex talk?
No. I have conversations with my parents that are uncomfortable for them, but not for me.
Me too. That's exactly what happens with me.
But I don't get uncomfortable easily, but they would more than me.
I never once had the uncomfortable birds and bees discussion.
No, I never had that.
In
Actually,
fact,
I learned it at school.
I think I had sex prior to my parents then one time bringing it up. I'm pretty sure it was, matter of fact, I think it was more along the lines of my parents probably figured it out and were like, got to lay some knowledge down real quick. I'm
still waiting for the talk and the sex.
Wouldn't that be awesome if your mom and dad are like, come in and they're all, take down now. We don't know if you've had sex yet, but let's talk about the birds and the bees. Your dad's drawing something on this whiteboard. And he draws like a penis going in, and he's like, there's 2 holes that you could possibly go in.
What I want to know is, have any parents in the world ever said, sit down, we're going to show you a sex talk, and then had sex in front of the kid just to show them?
Oh my God, I wouldn't doubt it. I
genuinely believe that's probably happened.
Dude, there's a place in America called the Ozarks. Happened there, I bet you. Oh,
that's grim, isn't it? That's grim.
It's grim.
Force them to sit there and watch.
It's grim. I bet.
No, you can't. Daddy hasn't finished yet.
Dude, I don't know if you've ever heard the stories, but especially like a lot of really hippie kind of people, who are like, they're more open to the family about like, the orgasm's a spiritual thing, and they're wearing their tie-dye shirt. I could see them doing something like that, something creepy.
Oh, that's nasty. Just crying and begging to leave. That would be like child abuse on the highest level.
It would be. No, I mean, I think that's considered child abuse overall.
Oh, definitely.
Abzi
Forcing
says,
your children to watch you, yeah.
I was the most heartbroken with the tooth fairy. I was like, how dare you lie to me, Mom?
Yeah. I think I worked it out myself as I got older. As I got to like 10, 11.
Gotcha.
I was like, I started thinking logically, like, how the fuck can how can Dwayne Johnson put like a pound under my pillow?
Well, here's how I found out.
He was the tooth fairy for real.
Because I was a dick and would always find out what my presents were prior to them being put under the tree. So my parents would like wrap them and hide them, and I'd find them. Every time they go to the store, I'd be fucking in their bedroom looking for the presents. And I found some from Santa, right? But they were there 2 weeks prior to Santa supposedly showing up to drop them down. And that's when, like, as a little kid, I think I was like, fuckers are lying. They're forging Santa's name. How dare they? Witness protection Santa. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure I had Tooth Fairy. I know my parents used to put coins under my pillow when I lost a tooth, but I was aware of they were doing it, and I negotiated with them. I'd be like, put a bit more under there this time.
Did you ever knock teeth out to get some cash?
No.
Some quick cash? That's a good plan. $1.50. Get to go.
And then
to the
you don't
movie.
realize that they don't grow back a second time when you do it again. When you
No
just
shit.
fucked for life.
No shit.
I didn't know when my first ones came out. I
Of
thought
course.
your teeth always fell. I thought,
Right.
oh, second, third, I can lose them all. I was
Yeah.
shocked when I found out you only get 1-2 sets.
Well, not only that, but it's sort of creepy when you think about it, because most things we have that are visible don't grow back. A finger gets cut off, it doesn't grow back, right? If an eye gets popped out, a new eye doesn't come back. Stem cells can do some of this stuff now, and I'm sure will in the future. But for whatever reason, you have your baby teeth, right? And you've got your real teeth, and then you have your wisdom teeth. And wisdom teeth are usually fucked. Like, they're as unwise as humanly possible. It's crazy, though, that you mentioned that, because that is true. Like, when you get that second tooth, unless a parent tells you, hey, dude, that's your last tooth, you could just be like, oh, man, the teeth just come back.
Yeah.
And I think
I panicked so much. I was like, oh, shit, this is my last chance. When I was like 10, I was like, I've only got like one set of teeth for the rest of my life. I panicked. I had like panic attack over it. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, because you didn't
up
want to
until
lose
this point,
them.
I've had spares. Yeah, up until this point, I've had spares.
I told you that story about me pulling the wrong tooth out.
No, I don't think so.
So my tooth hurt, and did you ever move them when they hurt and were getting ready to fall out? Did you ever wiggle them? So it was a side tooth that was wiggling a lot, and my dad's like, and I'd be wincing because it hurts, but you're like a little kid, which is weird, and sometimes you dig that shit. My dad was like, knock that shit off. You need to leave it alone until it gets ready to come out, or pull it out yourself. So I grabbed dental floss, which is how we would pull teeth when I was younger. I got the dental floss, tied it in a loop, and then you put it over the tooth, and then you tie the dental floss to something, or you yank on the dental floss, whichever one. Well, I was nervous. I didn't want to yank on it, so I tied it around the towel rack in my bedroom, or my bathroom, stepped away, slammed the door, and when I slammed the door, the fucking rack tore off the door, and I realized I had tied it around two of the wrong teeth, and it pulled both of them.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were all fucking like this, and I had to go in, and they had to fucking seat them back and shit. And the lady there was like, actually, it's happened a couple times. Like, you're not the only one who's accidentally looped the loop around the wrong tooth.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Citizen Sleep says, my dad straight up sat my bro and I down to explain Santa wasn't real. Then he gave us some money. We smiled and said, sweet, we knew. We've been watching you hide the presents for years. I think we all have.
Slave. Deceitful little bastard slave.
Okay, I got a question for everybody who's watching. What's the latest? Who's got the oldest age where you still believed in Santa? That
was quite young.
Yeah, I pretty much.
I mean, how many people are we ruining it for right now in their 40s? That's the question.
Oh dear God!
You imagine?
It's possible.
You get complaints on the podcast, and Twitch are like, "Got to shut you down because people didn't know Santa wasn't real at 40."
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, definitely different. Any other conspiracies we've?
I can't think of anything. I think conspiracy theories by definition are dumb because they're conspiracy theories.
Yeah. I think. I think overall we also know the ones that are based on a reality of some kind. Like, you always hear the guy go, "The Illuminati controls the world." Blah blah blah. Well, you can call it the Illuminati. I think we would all agree that some people in power want to stay in power. Yeah. Some people in power have a lot of cash and want other people held down. That's not really a conspiracy theory. That's quite literally leadership. That's quite literally rulership. Anyway. That's how the world's always ran. Yeah. And so I don't think it is a crazy conspiracy theory. I think when you start talking about, like, Rothschild, as Absy says, or the fucking, what's where Skull and Bones, that the George Bush Sr. and Jr. both belong to, then you do have a couple oddities. But I think overall, we already understand that's how the world works, for sure.
Yeah.
Or David Icke's take on the lizard people. I don't know what
crazy.
I don't know what that is.
He thinks the royal family are lizard people.
Why?
Because he's mental.
You mean an alien race of lizards?
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Lizard
thinks
people.
he thinks like Kate Middleton. Kate Middleton's way too pretty to be a fucking lizard. I'm sorry, but no.
Maybe just the main ones.
And what does he think they like have a device that makes them look like humans?
I don't know what he thinks.
Yeah,
He's
what
got
the
a
fuck?
whole
I mean,
book out and
what does he think? Like
he's...
just one paw changes, or I mean, like how would he know that if they look like humans? Oh, wait a minute. Is this connected to the weird shit where sometimes a teleprompter will fuck up eyes and it won't capture all the data from the iris and it looks slit? Because I did see that. There's been newscasts where you can look up a newscast where the person's blinking and the way the light works, it makes their eyes look like cat eyes. Like they have slits in them. And I remember people being like, oh man, that camera caught him right mid-transformation or whatever. And they tried to use that. Yeah, I don't know. Lizard people. Do you believe in aliens?
In what sense, though? That they exist?
That they
or
landed?
Already... No, I
Okay.
don't.
Do you think we'll ever see them? Do you think we'll ever meet another race?
I hope we do. I'm 100% convinced that they exist somewhere in the universe. Like, as most of the great scientists say, it's arrogant to think that we're the only thing that exists.
Yeah, very
in the
arrogant.
entire universe. Like, that's a hugely arrogant statement. Now, little green people, I don't know, but I reckon they exist on some level, even if it's a micro level.
Right.
It's still going to be an alien because people expect it to be like aliens from the films.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I think they do. I don't know if we'll ever see them. I think we've got more chance of seeing them if they visit us first.
Here's what frightens the fuck out of me. If you just look at plant life, right now, and you look at like the cordyceps mushroom, which is that mushroom that plants the fucking pollen in the ant's brain and takes control of them, like all these weird parasitic things. And then you look at even animals, lions, right? The fucking kangaroo. What's the other one? The duck-billed platypus. They all look really fucking weird, right? That's just on Earth.
Yeah.
So I think if we did see another alien race or something like that, there's a very good chance that we would. I mean, you might not even know what they were. Like you might. It depends on how big they were, all that kind of stuff. It would be very difficult, I think, for us to ever really have any meaningful dialogue. Like it feels to me like it's already separated. Like humans are the only ones who truly speak in the way that we speak. You know, dolphins, some people say that. But I mean, that's one planet. On another planet, they're likely to be the only ones as well. And then trying to have us all discuss things seems like it would be practically impossible. I mean, it's hard enough to learn another language where you know that some of the words are, have the same overall, like, history and mean the same thing. Citizen Sleeve says chemtrails. Yeah, you know what? I've seen a lot of people talk about chemtrails lately. You know what he's talking about? Takedown?
No, not really. I don't really.
There's like a conspiracy theory that sometimes people will see airplanes in the sky with the big turbulence trail behind them. And it became a thing in the 80s and 90s to say that it was like chemtrails, that they were dropping chemicals to control humans. It's actually been multiple things that they supposedly dropped, like chemicals to, illnesses to curb the population, stuff to lower fucking birth rate. Like it's a big deal. Chemtrails are a pretty big deal.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah, I don't believe in that either.
Yeah. Abzi says it's crazy to me that 70% of the Earth hasn't been discovered yet. Yeah, exactly. And it's unfortunately mostly underwater, right? Shit will never.
Yeah.
And have you guys seen? I mean, I'm sure people have seen it, but the shit underwater, some of that fucking crazy life, they'll show up, like an anglerfish or something. You'll be like, fuck, I don't want that anywhere near me. I'm glad it's deep down in the ocean. I don't want to go down
deep down, ugly motherfuckers.
No shit. Thank you, Manny Lee, for subscribing. Cloud seeding, Megalodon, Abzi says. Oh, yeah, Citizen Sleep says the most disgusting thing for me is when people say the Holocaust didn't happen.
Yeah, that's just not a conspiracy. That's just a dick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think, in fact, like, I mean, I certainly believe this a little bit harsher than other people, but I do believe that you want people to remember those terrible things. Remember what people can do to each other, because it does, for a normal person, I can tell you, when I see that stuff, I'll be like, man, we can be pretty terrible. Shouldn't do that. And you sometimes need those kind of things. And pretending that they didn't exist and it didn't happen is dangerous. Remember, I know you didn't like it either, but the movie Interstellar, remember?
I have not seen it, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought you'd seen it. So in that movie, he goes to school. His daughter's getting kicked out of school, and he's an astronaut. And he goes, and the lady there is like, we've decided your child needs talked to. And he's like, why? And she says, because we know the moon landings weren't real, but and the textbooks have been changed. And they're like, we know the moon landings aren't real, and we don't want kids to get false hope about space. That's sort of what the entire story is about, is the end of Earth, really. It's dying out. And he was an astronaut. And he's like, what? No, we for sure went there. Like, I was an astronaut. I fucking flew in space. Like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And they still kicked him out. They still kicked his daughter out. I think she just got suspended. But it is also crazy that in 5-6 generations, maybe less too, some of that history will just not be in books, or it won't be in class, is what I mean. Like, you know, it won't take long if people continue on that trait to really ruin it and pretend the shit didn't exist. I think that sucks. Definitely.
Yeah, that's sad, but you've got people out there that are like Neil deGrasse Tyson who are fighting for it as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have, and who's the guy, Bill Nye the Science Guy? I know a lot of people like him.
Yeah, he's good. He's an engineer, scientist.
He's always felt to me more like a mouthpiece for data. Does that make sense? I'm not saying he's not knowledgeable, but Neil deGrasse Tyson feels like a theologian, a scientist who can speak, and he tells you. And then for whatever reason, Bill Nye is always felt to me like more, he knows some shit because he read it, but maybe didn't study it. I don't know if that's right. I could be wrong.
It's because he's an engineer, so maybe he didn't study some of the stuff he
maybe
talks
didn't
about.
Yeah, and then over time, you just pick things up.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the chat. Absy says, remember that huge bite mark on the whale they found? Oh, because of the rumor of the megalodon? Yeah, I do. Dude, you can't tell me that all the shit we've seen, there isn't some crazy ass fucking underwater kraken squid thing that's huge. And you get those too, where like Japanese fishing vessel will catch one. They'll have a little video of it, and you'll be like, this thing's 150 feet long. Squids creep me the fuck out anyway.
Well, yeah, and octopus are disgusting.
Yeah. So let's jump from conspiracies for a second. Let's talk about Tyson Fury fighting Wilder. So
yes.
You were not. So a bunch of us in Discord watched it, but I'm pretty sure, not only were you not there, I'm pretty sure you haven't got to actually see it, right?
I haven't watched it. I've just profited off of it. That's about it.
So what do you think of a draw overall? That's what it was. Do you think that those...
I mean, it's good for me, but I don't know. Everything I've read, I've seen that because he won 8 rounds out of 3 or something out of them, and so it sounds like it shouldn't have been a draw on points, even though it was.
Right.
So if he wins more rounds, surely he's got more points. I don't know how it works.
No, that is. I mean, so you get more points for knocking somebody down than you do for just winning a round too.
Oh,
so
that's why it was even.
There can be some evenness there. I personally feel, I don't even know anything about the boxing commission other than years and years of people thinking they're corrupt. So I'm totally okay with that. I personally felt that it wasn't a draw at all. I will say this though, dude. Nobody I've ever seen be knocked out got up that quick. Even if you watch a YouTube video, somebody get knocked out and a friend will grab him and they're like, that motherfucker, like the Undertaker, he gets knocked straight. I mean, dude, he gets knocked out and he hits his head on, well, he doesn't hit his head too hard, but he hits his head on the ground and his arms are not moving. He's like, there's no movement. And then he just goes, and the ref is there and it takes him like 3 seconds. And then you just see his head completely clear. And he's like, duh, 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 and he gets up, and everybody in the audience was like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen, ever in my life, have I seen somebody come from a knockout. And that was a knockout, not a knockdown. I believe that he was, for some period of time, knocked out, but I've never seen a human brain. Dude, he's got fast boot, like Windows 10. You've got your normal boot and your fast boot, and that motherfucker's got the hibernation fast boot going. And it's just like...
He's running an SS2 MD.
He's got an M2 SSD. It's like... And all of us are running old 5400 RPM hard drives. It was insane. Good fight. It's fun to watch. Wilder missed all the time, though. Like, he fits his name, dude. Yeah, and you warned me about that. You were like, he fights Wild. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And then Sleeve and I got in there, and we were like, he's missed like 18 fucking punches in the first 30 seconds of the fight. And that's, I think that's one of the worst parts, is he's just really inaccurate. I mean, he hits hard, obviously. But
knocked him down.
How much did you win from that? Because you bet on it.
I bet, I think $6, and I won $150.
Jesus. And what was your bet? A draw?
Just a draw, yeah.
Did you just randomly choose that?
I just randomly put $5 on a draw, and then £2.50 on Tyson winning in the first.
That's insane.
60 seconds, and if I would have won that one, the odds were 150 to 1, so I would have won £1,000. £1,000.
So I have a question for you. Can't you? I don't know anything about sports betting. Why couldn't you bet enough times that you were sort of guaranteed to win?
I mean, if you bet on everything, you mean, not every outcome.
Or let's say you chose to bet on, because I did this on Keno for a while and I did very well, where I bet on like 75% of the total choices you had. So I guess with boxing, do they stop you from betting multiple bets? They don't seem to, because you bet 2.
No, I bet 3.
You bet 3?
Yeah, I lost 2. But no, you can bet like as much as you want.
So my question is, what if you what was the lowest return? Even on one you didn't bet, what was the lowest return? Do you know?
Probably odds of 1 in 5.
So I have a question for you. Why don't more people bet 5 times then? If it's 1 in 5, that way, if they lose, they lost $5, let's say. If they win the lowest of the return, they get their money back, and anything above that, they get more money back.
I don't know.
I've always wondered that.
There must be something. I've always wondered that as well. There must be something preventing them from doing it.
Because do you know, it does, nobody stops you in roulette. I should know. In Vegas, they don't stop you from doing that. So in Vegas, you have columns, rows, and you can bet on roulette, you can bet on the rows, or you can bet on the single numbers. And so like if there's, I can't remember how many numbers there are on roulette, but it's like 30s. If you bet on every single one of them, aside from like 5, and it comes up, you wouldn't win a ton, but you'd win a little bit. So if you do the columns, it's the same way. I think there's 6 bets you can make, but the return is 5. So what I was doing is I was just betting 5 and hoping that the ball didn't land on the 6 numbers out of 36 I chose. And I was winning money all the time. It was crazy. So, I mean, I'm assuming boxing probably lets you, but there's got to be that losing proposition.
Because the ones you're more likely to win on have much lower odds than the ones you're not likely to win on. So if you bet on them all, you're going to lose money, probably.
That's why you should look at what the lowest return is and just bet up to that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because if you bet 5-2, then for every $2 you put in, you're going to get 5, so you're doubling your money.
Yeah.
But I bet 28 to 1, which means for every dollar I put in, I got $28 back. That's why I won so much.
And I should be clear, everybody. Obviously, this doesn't work. Otherwise, it would be called winning and not gambling. I'm just saying that it worked for me, and I've wanted to know in sports betting for the longest time how they do that. For example, fucking dude, horse races confuse the shit out of me. You'll hear people being like, the Pentaveret or whatever. There's like a name for if 3 come in, and like if you've chosen 1, 2, and 3, what you get. And I've always wondered. I've always been like, why don't you just find what the lowest odds are and bet 4 times? Not a ton, but occasionally you're going to hit easy street, you know, and then. And for example, you said 1 to 28. Let's say at some point as you're betting, you've lost 3 times. So you've lost a total of $15, but then you win $28. So now you have the ability to make 28 minus 15 total free bets until you have started losing money again. So I don't know. It just seems to me like, you know, there would be a plan for that. But hey, who knows? I don't know numbers well enough. Don't trust me.
There's obviously not enough profit in it. That's why it's not done, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. So anybody listening, this is not gambling advice. I would never give.
Gambling Anonymous, this is. We're addicted. I've gambled once in my life on that one fight, but I'm still addicted.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fun. Depending on what's going on. Remember, Joe Rogan admitted he bet on the UFC fighters for years.
Really? That sounds dodgy.
It does sound dodgy. Well, he stopped, actually. He just talked about this a couple months ago. He said that he was betting for years, and then one day he woke up, and he was like, well, wait a minute. Like, I'm commentating. He can't really affect the judges, but he's like, who knows what people hear? And, you know, if people are, you know, out and about hearing him talk, and we're deciding who to bet while a fight was live or what have you. So he decided, he dropped it. He said nobody ever talked to him. He just decided to drop it on his own.
Yeah, so he obviously wasn't breaking any rules. Otherwise, he would have been told to stop.
He wasn't. Yeah, within the company, I don't think he was breaking any rules. He also said it was such a a non-deal to him, he didn't really tell everybody he was doing it too, which does happen where sometimes somebody's doing something illegal and it's not that they're trying to do something illegal. They quite literally, it's in this gray zone, and so people just don't talk about it, don't discuss it. I mean, I would have thought if you knew you were a commentator for boxing that you shouldn't bet, but I could be wrong. I mean, apparently he thought it was fine. So, and then I wanted to talk about damage in boxing. What do you think's worse? The continued boxing damage, the slower kind of just continued hammering, or UFC style?
I think UFC, just for the fact that if you get kicked in the head, that's going to be more powerful than a punch times 100.
Right.
You get kicked in the head, and that can kill you so easily, whereas a punch is nowhere near as powerful as a kick.
Are you ever surprised nobody's died?
I mean, I don't know if anyone hasn't. Have they not?
UFC, not UFC. There has been the occasional death in like some third world country, or some small thing. There was a death in the ring in a boxing match, but UFC, the big leagues, no.
I guess that's why it's regulated by referees, because they stop you just before you're about to.
They do, but if somebody kicks somebody in the shin with their shin into the side of your face, let's say, like, it is pretty surprising what the human body can take. I don't think people realize how much damage the human body can take. It's unbelievable. And like, people take full face kicks and.
Yeah, and if one of these guys is kicking at full power, you are.
Remember, though, when you were younger, you'd watch a 1980s movie with, like, Dolph Lundgren, and he'd punch somebody once and knock him out, and it's like, that's pretty rare. Most of the time, that is not what happens in a fight. Like, I mean, people take insane amounts of damage sometimes, and still don't get knocked out. Like, broken fingers, bruised ribs, broken ribs.
All that adrenaline running through their little head.
But it's so funny, because when I grew up on 1980s, like, action movies. Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee'd fight 15 people, right? He'd be all, brah! And he'd hit them once, and they were knocked out. And I'm like, dude, I mean, even at a young age, just taking martial arts for a little while, I was like, yeah, that's not really what happens.
Yeah, well, it's like Batman in any film. He punch you once, and you're just down.
Yeah.
And it's like, a human doesn't fall down that quick.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they definitely don't. Citizen Sleeve says, if you listen to a boxer speak a ton, they sound punch drunk, just mentally slower. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we noticed it. Chuck Liddell. I will say Chuck Liddell just recently did a video after he lost Tito Ortiz. He sounded completely clean. No thick tongue. I think unfortunately with Chuck Liddell, he drinks so much, it's hard to sometimes identify when he's inebriated. And then, when he's not. Cat Sleaze says Boss Rutan discusses it on a recent podcast. That's awesome. Boss is the greatest fucking martial artist in the world. Do you know what Boss Rutan is?
Sounds familiar.
He's the guy who does did you ever play GTA 4?
Yeah, I think I did, yeah.
Oh, because there's
him. He's from Kevin Can Wait.
Yeah, and it's the TV channel on GTA 4. He does his own TV channel, and he's just like, it's always the liver kick. Everything's about that. Like, oh, he's funny as hell.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's great. He's brilliant. One of the nicest dudes, considered one of the nicest dudes in MMA ever. And unfortunately, I didn't realize he's all fucked up, not even just because of fighting, but because he took a ton of steroids when he was a kid because he had horrendous skin conditions, and he ended up getting rheumatoid arthritis from it and all this crazy stuff. Like, he's in bad shape. I think he's had a knee replaced as well. Most fighters have CTE from the head trauma. I would assume we all have CTE though, because I've had a concussion from smashing into a snowbank at like 200 miles an hour. I mean,
sounds fun.
The brain doesn't know the difference, right? Have you ever been knocked out? Big time?
No, I'm too smart for that. I don't get myself into situations.
Yeah, but I mean, you could have been riding a bike. You never.
Nope. Helmet.
Jesus Christ, you were safety conscious, really?
I'm protected.
We never wore helmets. Probably explains a lot of things.
Yeah, I think I did wear helmets. I never wore high-vis jacket.
What about you and your brother? Because you and your brother, I know you like. Did you guys ever fight? Yeah. Did somebody ever whack anybody and you got stunned?
Yeah, like my brother's I was on the stairs and I was running up the stairs because he was chasing me, and my head fell on the step next to the banister, and he just kicked my head against the banister.
Oh my God, that's rough, man.
I wasn't unconscious, but I felt like I was going to vomit.
Rough housing, right?
Exactly.
He took it to a whole new level. What a pun.
Yeah.
Did you?
I could never hit him.
Oh, why? That's what I was going to ask. Did you ever fight back?
I never fought back because I could never. Like every time I went to punch him, my fist would stop. I could not physically punch. He's my younger brother. I just couldn't do it. I just felt something.
He was your younger brother, and he was just a jackass.
I just couldn't bring myself to hit him because I felt so bad. I just couldn't do it.
Oh wow!
It wasn't conscious. It was something in my head where my fist would not physically move. It was really weird, like magic powers stopping me.
When I was a little kid,
so
how old was your older brother or younger brother? Sorry. How old was he?
We would have been he would have been 10. I would have been 11, 12.
So you're close overall.
Yeah, we're very close age-wise. Yeah.
My brother's 7 years older than me, and so what would happen was, especially as he always said, I was the cutest baby, and then absolutely hated me the moment I learned how to talk, like, which I could see. I get that, especially because I'm a smart ass. And he'd get so mad at me, he would throw me down, trap me in almost basically a leg lock, and then just punch me until I just was bleeding everywhere. My mom would come home. Ooh. My mom would come home and be like, knock it off, blah, blah, blah. And to be brutally honest, I almost never was like, he just beat up on me. I was a smart ass. When I was like 7, I was a smart ass. Like, it was terrifying for friends. I remember people just like, he's just such a smart ass. And my brother would let it happen. I'd be like, continue poking him. He'd say something, I'd be like, bah, 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 bah. Say something, bah, 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 bah. And then pretty soon he'd give me that look, and I'd be like, and he would say it sometimes. He'd be like, don't say it one more time, and I'd be all, bah, 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 bah. I'd say something stupid. And that motherfucker was on me. That's actually how I learned how to fight, was he just beat the fucking shit out of me for so long. And people might think, I don't know how to describe brothers and siblings, but I have seen siblings fight harsh as fuck. Like, I personally think, well, kicking somebody's head into a banister, sisters and brothers get away with assault. That's straight up assault, right? But instead, you were like, I was at home with my brother, and you tell the story and we all laugh, right? We're just like, oh, that's funny that he got his head kicked against the banister. But
yeah, exactly.
It is pretty much assault. Do you have just one sibling?
Just one younger brother, yeah. That's it.
Do you ever, do you guys ever hang out, or are you?
We do a Dragon Ball stuff together every week.
Oh, okay. So you do Dragon Ball together.
Yeah, video games, Dragon Ball.
Oh, so you're pretty close, you'd say, overall?
When it comes to that stuff, we are, yeah.
Wait, what does it come? What is it what other stuff?
Well, when it comes to talking about life or emotions or anything like that, we're not close at all.
Why is that?
Just literally video games. I don't know, because he's a bit of a cunt, so I don't really talk to him about stuff.
You mean he's a smart ass kind of thing? Like, if you did want to talk to him?
I wouldn't want to, no. I wouldn't care about his output.
Gotcha.
Input. But no, we do Dragon Ball together, video games together. That's about it.
And he still lives there with you?
He lives in the summer house, yeah.
I love how you have a summer house. That's awesome.
So posh and rich.
But it's not even a summer house, it's an all-time house, right? Because he's there all the time. He doesn't move out.
As most people's houses, probably.
Yeah.
I lived there with 3 other people for like 2 years. That's huge.
Oh, no shit. You did?
Yeah. Yeah, for a bit. No, with my family, but there were 3 of them.
Oh, gotcha. Cat Sleeves says, as a middle child, I dished it out and got my fair share of abuse. Citizen Sleeve says, my bro and I used to fight all the time, sometimes playing, sometimes seriously not. I'm older by 3 years. Yeah, I mean, I'll just be brutally honest. Ours was almost never playing. Like, in fact, I think the worst fight I ever got in with a family member was over a fucking pillow fight. Because pillow fights get harsh, and I caught the back of his head with the pillow, and I was slamming it like this. He was hitting me, I was hitting him, and I hit, and I pulled, and it whipped his neck forward. And it was that thing where you get that family member who goes from, like, this is funny to this is not funny so fast.
Yeah.
And he was just like, ha, ha, ha. And then it was on. And I think I tackled him, actually, because I knew right away he was gonna come at me. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a fight with my brother since I was like 12.
Really?
I mean, like 2 years ago, he really pissed me off and really made me angry. So I chased him through the house, and he locked himself in the bathroom door because I was like proper raging, and I punched my hand through the bathroom door to try and grab him and get him, but he just locked the door.
You guys sound like 90210 and shit. You sound like Ozark rednecks,
Teen
whatever.
Drama.
Yeah, Yeah, that's funny. It's like
That was 2 years ago when I was 26, 25.
Wow. Yeah. So obviously you've learned a lot in those 2 years. We'll just pretend you've learned a ton.
Yeah. Oh,
What's
I'm
up,
not angry
Absy?
at all.
Oh, Abs, thanks for gifting the subs to everybody. That's very nice.
Give one to me as well, please.
We'll have to say something nice to
Wait, does that cost money for Absy to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, you gift subs to other people. So what do we
Absy, I'm not subbed. Sub me.
What do we give Absy for doing that?
Recognition.
A shout
on
out.
Podcast.
We did give him a shout out, that's for sure. But yeah. Holy shit, I can talk.
Well, but I'm not subbed. How can I talk?
Because I made you what do you call it?
But before that I wasn't subbed and I still could talk.
No, I had all of you guys already on there, and then we weren't sub-only chat for a while. We only had to go to sub-only chat recently because all the spam. Oh,
I don't need Absy to help me out, then it's fine.
Yeah, thanks, Absy. That's very nice of you. It's probably very sad for those people who are now like, oh shit, now we can talk. Now what do we say?
Now we owe Absy a gratitude.
Well, I guess what do we say is, you guys got any questions for us? Any of you new people who weren't able to talk? Got anything for me? Takedown?
Lego.
Oh yeah. What about it?
Can you discuss how good Lego is, how good the Lego games are, and how people get them wrong thinking they're for kids?
I think the problem is they are wrong overall. I mean, I get that they're sort of puzzle-wise they're sort of weak, but overall when it comes to the gameplay, the collectability, the graphics, they're all really good. Michelle's asking me how my back is. Well, there's a reason why I'm sitting the way I am, because it's fucking killing me. Actually, that's why usually I'm sitting very close to the screen, and right now I'm doing the old trying to pretend like everything's fine, but causing the old sphincter to tighten up. Thanks for asking, unfortunately. When it comes to Lego, what's a fiction you'd want to see? So let's say here we go. $100 million. Lego is launching the biggest Lego game ever. All IPs are open. Go. You're in charge.
Parks and Recs.
Parks and Recs as a Lego game?
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Or a fusion of different sitcoms,
TV shows. Yeah.
TV shows. So New Girl.
Or what if it was like,
Friends.
I don't want to say ABC, but you get my drift. Like ABC's got some sitcoms, NBC's got some
Agents
sitcoms.
of Shield, Agents of Shield, Lego game. That's it. That's what
Yeah.
I want. Every series into one big game. So for all 6 series in one game, or 7 series. Now.
What is the best current gen Lego game? Is being asked by Famine right now. Formine.
I've got a list up actually. I was looking.
I would say. Let me give mine. I'll say Avengers 2 and Lego Supervillains. Go. What are yours? Takedown.
I'm just counting. There's 20 on current gen.
There's 20 total
on current gen.
What?
I can read them out if you want.
Please do. That seems. I guess there's a lot, but I didn't really. Yeah, go for it, please.
Lego Harry Potter's Year 1 to 4 is on PS4 because that's got remastered.
Okay.
Then Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. Then Lego Marvel Superheroes, Lego Movie Video Game, Lego The Hobbit, Lego Batman 3, Lego Star Wars Micro Fighters apparently, Lego Jurassic World, Lego Dimensions, Lego Marvel Avengers, Lego Force Awakens, Batman movie. That never came out though, so that's a lie. The Lego Ninjago movie, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Lego Incredibles, and Lego DC Villains. So not 20, I think I miscounted. About 15.
Here's what's weird. How about this? Let's turn it on its ear. Is there any bad ones?
Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't, but you can't say those because you haven't played them. I know.
I'm biased.
Yeah.
No, I played the Caribbean one. It's not a bad Lego game. I just didn't like the thing. So I don't think there's any bad Lego games.
There's one, not Jurassic Park. It's another one. Jurassic Park I liked, but I think it's considered middling. The Lego City Undercover I loved, and it for sure is considered middling. And I actually really like that game. But I think the thing that goes on with Lego is there's just so much you can do. I mean, you can have so many characters. You can go to all these places. So a TV show one would be great. Like I would love a TV show, like Fox, Simpsons. Oh, he's got sneezes. You okay? Fox
Yes.
could do Simpsons. You've got, what about South Park? Lego South Park would be fun.
That would be good. That would fit the humor.
Yeah, that
it
would
would
fit
be
the
too
humor.
light-hearted though, maybe compared to what they could actually do with a Lego.
Well, I'm just saying if we just made up that we had the power to.
Oh, if we're making it, then I'd make South Park. I'd do an episodic Lego. I'd call it Lego Universes, and every single season would be like a different show.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So Lego Universes with Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Friends.
So I think we've just sort of, figured out
saved
like
Traveler's Tales. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we for sure did that. But no, I think we've indicated that's one of the biggest problems that occurs right now in gaming is IPs won't merge. So like we've already got our big Batman game. And if they decide to do another one in that world, it'll be Batman or it'll be somebody from DC. But it would be amazing beyond all belief to have them mix Marvel and DC in a game. And the problem is all these companies are, it's not like platforms on a video game, like where Sony might put a game, or like Microsoft put out We Happy Few still, and it was on multiple platforms. Not a great game, but it was still on multiple platforms. But I think with like Lego and all that kind of stuff, that I think the one big problem is people just won't mix the IPs together. It's sad.
Yeah.
I would love to see that kind of shit.
But Lego, I think Marvel and DC, like they'd have to decide who would win in their
exactly.
I don't think Marvel would admit that anyone would lose to Superman because they wouldn't want their character to seem weaker, and DC wouldn't be like, oh no, they can't like that. That's what the problem is.
That's the problem. Do you know what I do as a developer? I'd say the entire story is going to lead up to the last fight, and we are going to make the last fight random on who wins. Like your main character won't be in this last, like it'll be two bosses or something, and whatever may happen, and we're gonna basically set it up so that it's random, 50% chance for each one of them to win. And every time somebody plays, it could change, and just see what happens. Citizen Sleeve says Battlestar Galactica Lego. That'd actually be very cool. It'd be very cool because also I think Battlestar Galactica can be really dark. Battlestar Galactica is one of those shows that you can watch and suddenly you need some fucking, SRIs afterwards. So I would definitely like to see that. Captain Marvel versus Superman. Now, I don't know enough about Captain Marvel, to be honest. Just sort of.
Nor do I. I will want to see the film, hopefully, but apart from that.
Lego Dead by Daylight. Lego. What else? What about Transformers? Would you ever want to see a Lego Transformers? Because I would. Can you imagine that? Autobots roll out, and they
that'd be a really good way. I don't know why they. Maybe they'll do that one day.
Or G.I. Joe. Actually, I suppose you're not a G.I. Joe fan, right? Because that was way before your time, wasn't it?
Well, I like the film, the first film and the second film.
You did, so did I. Even though they get shit on. You know who directed those? Stephen Sommers, the one who did the Mummy, Brandon Fraser movies.
Oh,
did you know that?
So he went from. No, I didn't know that.
Doesn't it feel like that though when I now explain it? Like Mummy and the adventure and the world traveling. That's the way I felt the first G.I. Joe movie felt. It was like worldwide. It was like that seems to be his thing, sort of the light fantasy.
I really enjoyed that film.
Yeah, so did I.
I enjoyed both of them, the first and the second.
I like the first one better just because the second one you found out. Remember, I think I told you this, but Channing Tatum was saying that like the worst mistake he's ever made in all of his acting was doing G.I. Joe. He's like gone back and discussed most of the stuff that like I think is cool, and he's been like, "This is the most offensive, stupid thing I've ever made." I was like, God, that sucks.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, I hate hearing that shit. What else we got? Lego Minecraft.
I mean, Lego Worlds. It's basically the same thing.
Lego World's basically the same thing, but it is weird that Lego Minecraft hasn't been made. Yeah. Mask Lego. Yeah, I would love that. All those older cartoons. He-Man. I still think He-Man is a massive IP that somebody needs to grab. Dolph Lundgren can return. Play He-Man again at 75.
Play He-Man in his 90s.
Just call it Old Man. Old Man He-Man, like an old pissy. His kidneys are bad. He wears a fucking dialysis bag. Like old man pissy He-Man. That'd be amazing. And him and Teela, I think it was Teela, Princess of Power, fucking being married but living in separate places, sleeping in separate beds because one of them snores. Just like show what happens. What else do we got? What else is there to yak about today?
Game Awards stuff in preparation for later on.
Yeah, what do you think? Or what are you excited about for releases? Go ahead and read them to people.
I'll read them and I'll tell you which ones I'm excited about and which ones I couldn't give dog shit. So I think the one we're both excited about most is Square Enix's Avengers game.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. because if they announce anything to do with that, apparently speculation is that the two directors of Infinity War will be attending the event and will be discussing the game. Well, they're definitely attending the event, but are they going to announce anything? Is that why they're there? Because why else would they be there? Like, they're not gamers or video game developers.
Right.
Obsidian's new title, which I don't know what it would be. They're suggesting BioShock here, but I don't know. That seems a bit of a stretch. Mortal Kombat 11.
I don't know, dude. I don't care about that game.
Nor do I. Hasn't Mortal Kombat 10 or whatever just come out as well?
No, it went Mortal Kombat 10, Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, okay. Alien Blackout, which I'd be very, 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 very excited for.
Really?
I love the first one. Apart from the fact it was too long in the middle. I think it's a great game.
Okay.
There's a lot of improvements I'd like to see, but Dragon Age 4, which I wouldn't care about.
I would if it was closer. But the other rumor is that it's at least 3, if not 4 years out. I don't want to see something announced 3 or 4 years out.
Yeah.
It's going to change. I don't even want to get an idea. Yeah. I don't even want to get an idea.
Yeah.
What else?
Even if the game is allegedly years away, it says a Harry Potter RPG. Could be interesting, but I'm not really a Harry Potter fan.
So I'm a fan, I would say a fan. Like, I enjoy the stuff, but I don't love it. But I will say that if that RPG leaked trailer is real, which I'm sure it was, that was too much work for somebody to do for a fake trailer, then something like a Batman style, where you're like, a wizard in the school, could be amazing. We'll have to see. But I wouldn't call it excited. I'm interested in that.
I'd be more interested if it was nothing to do with Harry Potter. I mean, himself, the character.
Correct.
And it was
right.
But it says Harry Potter, so surely, I don't know. Harry Potter's the name for the book and film series and the character.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and here's
confusing.
the thing: the story of Harry Potter. She does say who he ends up with, obviously, right? Jenny Weasley and all that. But and Absy and I talked about this yesterday. One of the things they don't really cover a bunch is what's happened between, like, let's say him being, 40 and having kids and ending graduation. So you could have something where it's like Harry Potter's disappeared and, have a new fiction written for this, this custom character you're able to play for a short amount of time. Yeah. Or something that's going on in, what's the school's name? Hogwarts, yeah. Or wouldn't it be cooler if it was a different school? I was always interested when I saw Goblet of Fire and they had the Russian school, the French magic school. Like, why? The Russian magic school in particular really interested me, of like what it would be like. So yeah, it could be fun. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'd like it to. I'd like a Hagrid prequel film.
You mean just on Hagrid?
Just a Hagrid prequel film in that universe, like Han Solo, but Hagrid. Just call it Hagrid.
You liked him?
And have Robbie Cole. He's the only character I liked, and the only actor in it I really liked.
I felt that he was so much better in the fucking books than he was in the movies. I'm going to be honest.
I haven't read them.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the films either.
Citizen Sleeve says, it looks like you're waving a wand with the screwdriver while talking about Harry Potter. I was, technically, wasn't I? I was like, I don't even know why the fuck I've got a screwdriver here. Anyway, continue. What else?
Next is a new Far Cry game, which we know is 100% happening because they've already teased it. So it's only a rumor of them revealing more. We obviously know it's a game at the moment.
Excited, not excited? Give a shit, don't give a shit?
If it's anything like the DLC, then I definitely am not excited. Because that's their latest work that they've put out. So, that's the last thing we can look at to talk about when it comes to them.
You're only as good as your last blank.
So imagine if their whole game they bring out is as bad as all the DLC for Far Cry 5. It would be the worst game of all time, I think. Because as a DLC, you can accept it, but as a full game, that would be Jesus. That'd be awful.
I think, when you look at their side stuff, Primal, which I loved, Far Cry Dragon, Blood Dragon? Right, Blood Dragon. I loved. Hopefully, that's what they're doing, is that the DLC was being made by a satellite team, while the main teams, obviously, they were doing 2 games at the same time if they've already got main characters chosen, because they just finished Far Cry 5. Yeah, it could be much better. Yeah, we'll have to see. I wasn't a huge fan of Far Cry 5, though.
Nor was I, at all. Very disappointed in that.
Yeah.
But another one is... apparently in one of... Jeff Keighley, the guy who presents it, in one of his tweets, he posted a video to promote the award show, which included some teasers of what viewers can expect. One thing that fans quickly picked up on in the video is a short frame of what looks like Sam Fisher wearing the familiar Splinter Cell goggles, which has created rumors that there'll be a new Splinter Cell game announced.
Well, there's been one announced for a while. There was some like movement with the IP or some stuff with prototype art. I can't remember what it was, but I would assume yes. A Splinter Cell, a major Splinter Cell release could be massive. It could be massive.
That'd be better than anything Ubisoft have probably done in the last few years.
Right. And remember, the voice actor did leak that it was being made. The new the old voice actor. What's his name? Michael Ironside. Michael Ironside. IGN posted an interview that he did about a year ago, and he basically was celebrating returning as Sam Fisher. So and Ghost Recon Wildlands. Yeah, there was a mission. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, with him. There hasn't been a Splinter Cell game on PS on current gen, is there?
There has not. Dude, Splinter Cell it started going like, I don't know what the term would be, open space, not open world, but like the originals were like, here you go to this level, right? And then you do these things in the level. And then later in the end, you had the prison. I don't know if you played that, but like there was like a prison ecosystem and some oddities there. What's wrong? Oh, he's being yelled at. Splinter Cell is definitely coming. Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, I think when you say open place, I think I see it more as like a Hitman.
Yeah.
Sort of open. Well, Hitman's not open world, but it's not closed either.
I think
Splinter Cell starts to go more towards Hitman open.
Yeah, and so Hitman gets away with daytime activities, right? He's like Batman as Bruce Wayne. He can kill people because he can dress up as other people. I think the big problem is that Splinter Cell Sam Fisher, the best Sam Fisher that we have is the one where he's dressed up in the suit. And there's been adventures, or there's been different levels you can do where he wasn't dressed in the suit and he was dressed like a civilian, but they're never as cool. So it's like the nighttime things are better. What else we got?
We've got Fortnite Season 7. So let's get that. Because, yeah, exactly. Death Stranding, which I'm not really interested in seeing anything else for now. I just want to see the game come out because it's dragging it on.
Yeah. And
then your favourite one, Crash Team Racing Remastered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my most hyped one. If they announce that, I'll be so happy.
I mean, it could be... I have to see it because I'm not a big fan of, like, the remaster stuff. So I have to see it. Could turn out to be totally awesome. But it's also, hopefully, they do a good job of making sure you can play it single player and that there's a good meaty... because what I don't like is the remasters or anything that comes out where it feels sort of like you have to have all your friends play. Because we've been burned. I've told you this before, even in chat, where I'm like, I don't want to get burned and jump into a game and then everybody doesn't want to play anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to buy Crash and fucking, whether I review it or not, I don't want to buy Crash, have everybody jump in, and then have all you guys leave. Not that you're pretty good about that. You actually don't. You usually will say if you're liking something or not, or you'll return it right away. So
yes, true. It's more of a single player thing for me though, because I love the single player from the Crash Team Racing. Yeah,
and that's what, if the single player is good, because I haven't played it, so you sound like it is, then I'm into it 100%. I just want to make sure that it's sort of fleshed out. I don't like these half games, these half systems. Anything else?
Oh, that's everything on the list.
I don't know, man. Every time we go into these events, Abzi and I will be doing the... Oh, by the way, anybody watching, we'll be doing the live stream at 5:30 p.m. tonight as well. I may sound disappointed already, but how many times have they said there's going to be this big event? And I don't know if they are just hyping it up and they know they're not big events, or if they truly think they are and can't figure out why other people aren't interested. But I've never been surprised really at a Game Awards show.
Yeah, same.
Seems
like it's going to have a lot though.
Those are the leaks we know of, right? Those aren't official. Yeah. Those are like the leaks people gleaned.
Yeah, those are speculation and rumors and potential leaks.
So what do you want? What makes sense? What's realistic? What would you like to see announced at the Video Game Awards? Is there anything?
I'd like to see a new Crash game.
Right.
Rather than just a new one.
Oh, or a real one. You mean like a sequel that's like...
Or a Spyro sequel. No, not Spyro, actually. Just Crash.
Why not Spyro? Were you not a fan? You seem to lose interest in that remake.
I always love Spyro 1 and 2, but I've never liked the third one. It's always the most unpopular one.
Oh, interesting.
The third one
okay.
It's not considered to be the best. So I don't really care. Same with Crash Bandicoot 3. For me, that's the worst out of the three.
Everybody in chat, what's the game you guys are excited for, think will happen, or want to happen? Obsidian's first Microsoft game since the buyout. Sounds like what people are thinking of. I don't know, man. Obsidian's so buggy in all their games. Like, I like a lot of them, but I'm like,
so does that mean that every Obsidian game will now be Microsoft exclusive, Xbox exclusive?
They actually, for sure, the current one they're working on sounds like it's not going to be exclusive. And then after that, I would assume they'll try.
Why would they spend all that money if they don't want exclusivity? It's weird.
Well, because what they can do, if there is no exclusivity, but Microsoft's still the publisher. Remember, there are the very few games that are Microsoft published on Sony's console. There are actual games. There are also a couple Sony games that have been published on Microsoft. It's very rare, but they're like little side games. One of the Kinect games, I think, was on, not the where they look like the Kinect kit, the avatars. There was a couple that I remember seeing that we were all surprised. We were like, oh shit, they're on a competitor's machine, technically. It could happen. I mean, we happy few. Microsoft, so depending on who publishes it too, I don't think Microsoft is going to be just absolutely dead set against publishing on a PS4. Like, if a company wants to sell on both, remember, Microsoft is still going to make money from those sales.
I mean, don't Microsoft already do that with Minecraft technically anyway?
Technically, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
On every console.
On every console. And
then that was happening before they bought them, so they kind of couldn't really stop it without
that's why we're hearing that Bard's Tale guys, what they're working on will be exclusive, most likely. But I would say that's why we're hearing some things may not be, is because they bought.
Yeah, it would make sense if they weren't. Microsoft don't want to publish for Sony main.
Well, they don't mainly, but if it's depending on the game, if they know they can make money on that other platform, because remember, they make money with every sale. So
That's
even though they may not make. So that's the thing that's weird. The developer makes the game. It costs money, right? Then the developer sells. But by the point you're selling, you almost want to sell on every platform. Because if you don't, you're artificially... Yeah. So it's definitely different.
But then you don't want to sell on Sony if you're Microsoft, because then people might buy a Sony console to play the game.
Yeah,
it doesn't incentivize people to buy an Xbox.
That's why Microsoft would probably do Game Pass for Xbox. Because Sony can't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know why Sony haven't come up. Maybe they'll announce something at the next experience event, like their version of Games Pass, or improve now.
Maybe Sony will fix their download speeds. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing if you'd be able to download something from PSN in a fucking lickety-split instead of the bullshit? I can send a fucking love letter in a bottle faster than I can get some of those games.
My Xbox is faster over the internet than my PS4 is with Ethernet.
You mean Wi-Fi versus Ethernet? Yeah. Yep. Same.
It's faster on the Xbox.
In fact, my Xbox is pretty playable online wireless. Not perfect. I can definitely tell there's a couple issues here and there, but I think I played it with you guys a couple times.
Yeah.
Or
State
people
of Decay,
State of Decay. I played that wireless one time and it worked. So, I mean, that's a slower game overall. Ooh, that's got more DLC too. Let's see. Avengers is the one I'm most interested in. Sleeve says maybe Last of Us 2. What about Last of Us 2? Do you give a shit? Come on.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Really. I know you don't.
You have to be lying to me.
You didn't like the first one because you're the only person in the world who didn't like it.
No, there's a lot of people who didn't like it.
A lot of people.
It's just too. It was just the typical thing where it was like it became such a what do you call it? An event.
So you think the hype outlives the game, basically? The hype makes people
very much so. Yeah. That game. Oh, Absy says I didn't. I thought it was just okay.
Well, you two are peas in a pod.
But just joking. Overall, it doesn't matter. People like it. I'm just not looking forward to that announcement if it happens. Death Stranding gameplay, don't give a shit.
No, seen enough.
Yeah, it's like all I know is you're basically a baby inside of a human driving around or something. Like I have no fucking clue what that game's going to be.
You're a baby controlling a Norman Reedus.
Exactly. Like doesn't that at times that's what it looked like? You were like, what the fuck is happening? It's like you're driving around like a human fucking RC car.
It's a new genre, FPV, first baby view or some shit.
Yeah, that'd be
whole new
awesome.
Genre of game.
Crackdown 3, I can't wait to see Crackdown 3, especially after talking to YouTubers who got to play it. Holy shit, is that turned around? That was insane.
Play at events, or they've got codes, you mean?
For what now?
Crackdown 3, do you mean
they played it at an event, yeah.
Oh, so they're not sending out codes to anyone?
No, not yet. No. And
I assume you'd get one.
But I would definitely ask. But yeah, the people at the events I talked to, because I saw them posting, so I was like DMing them, and I was all okay, blah blah blah, because I knew one or two of them, and they were like, no man, it's fucking what a turnaround, like what an insane turnaround. Now whether Bad Will is already overturned all that and it doesn't matter, who knows? That's possible too.
Yeah, is everything destructive in that as well?
There's if what I remember right, there's 2 levels of destruction. There's like there's multiplayer games with everything destructible, and then there's multiplayer games with some stuff destructible. I think is what they said. So you can choose. And I think that makes sense because sometimes you're going to be playing the game and really get tired that everybody's shooting rockets at the ground of all the buildings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there might be times where you're like, man, I really wish things were a little bit more solid. But
I bet it runs better than Just Cause 4 though. Still
runs better. Just Cause 4 has no. Just Cause 4's graphic bugs, or do you mean
graphics
running?
Bugs. Oh, not running because it runs well.
It runs very well. Yeah, but I get you. Yeah. Well, they're patching that. Looks like I saw this morning they released that list of, and it's pretty much everything everybody noticed.
When's that patch out? Did they say?
They just said later this week or later next week.
That's not bad. That's good. That's quick.
No, and it's everything you like. Any of you guys that had issues. It's funny because Nor only had issues with the water. And he did some NVIDIA setting because you have a PS4 version, he has a PC version. And
I played it on the base and the
yeah, and he contacted me. It's like, it looks fine. Like, what the fuck's happening? Like, why are people? But obviously that's a bug. That's how bugs show up. Bugs show up in the most infuriating ways, and they show up in ways where not everybody gets them, and it's life. Like I'm sure I'll get hate for this for a long time for liking it. A bunch of us liked it. Some didn't. I mean, when I say like it, I should be honest and say it was. I said it was barely a sale, and should probably be wait for most people. But still,
for Just Cause,
yeah. I wasn't like in love, and there were a lot of graphics issues for sure. So hopefully we get that fixed up.
That's 2 games I've avoided so far. Darksiders 3 and Just Cause 4, just for now until the price drop.
Dude, yeah, Darksiders 3 needs to drop to like. I don't know. I saw some people in Discord who like it, so I don't want to diss on it, but. I think that.
Yeah, I've enjoyed. I played some. I played my dad's, and I really actually enjoyed it.
I think I enjoyed it at the start.
Yeah.
And it sort of died out. Like Mutant Year Zero, same exact way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I enjoyed that for a minute and a half.
Dude, that game, it doesn't take very long before you're like, not for me. Like at least
it's something off about it. I don't know what it is. It's just I can't. I like the walking around before the fights bit.
Yeah, me too. That's what I like.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But then it's no XCOM.
Kanga Logan says Darksiders 3 should have started at $30. More games need to, right? I don't think anybody disagree that games need to start differentiating themselves by lower prices instead of Ultimate Editions, Ultimate Complete, Unbelievable, Collector's fucking Master Game of the Year Edition, and get rid of that shit and just sell it at $30 and see if that works. Because a lot of us don't need, fucking statue. I mean, except, now that I think about it, Takedown, you got the statue, didn't you? Didn't you get the Medusa edition of Odyssey?
My dad got that one.
Your dad got it.
I got the normal game, then I bought a separate statue.
Fallout 76 should have started at free. Sleeve says. Oh, Elephant says, do you think we will see Ashen at the Game Awards? Rumor is it's
releasing.
Yeah, rumor is it'll release Friday. So we'll see.
I mean, I hope it does. Then I can finally play Anthem with the jetpacks.
God damn. Poor developer. Like, what the fuck is this idiot talking about? What else we got? Anything?
Because I thought Ashen was Anthem for so long, I still don't know what Ashen is.
Ashen is BioWare's Destiny. Ashen is basically Destiny, but made by BioWare.
Isn't that Anthem?
Well, sorry, Anthem. Now I'm doing what you do. Anthem. And then Ashen is the Dark Souls.
Yeah, Ashen's the one I'm not sure what it is, yeah.
Okay, so Ashen is like a Dark Souls, but flat shaded. So everybody's flat shaded. They look a little bit like a little rough hewn, a little like just rougher than you're used to.
So is it meant to have a difficulty of the Dark Souls? Is that what the thing? Oh.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you can do co-op, and it's all the way through. You can do all that shit co-op. So there's definitely, and dude, I'm telling you, it's beautiful looking. Like it's, you know how the artistry of some games isn't in the high textures. It's just in the beauty of like the game world and how it's made up. That game is fucking unbelievable. Like it just looks phenomenal. You looking it up?
Yeah. No, I was looking up. Someone sent me a link.
Oh, to the game?
No, someone just sent me a link for a game.
Oh, gotcha. What game?
I'll have to turn it off. It's called I Am. I'll send you a link. It's called I Am Not a Monster.
Yeah, you and I talked about this one.
Did we?
I Am Not a Monster, and I asked you. We were sort of depressed because it required more players than we thought. Because when it went live, I contacted you and I was like, "Hey, I sort of want to see that." But because it's not getting the best recommendations either. So, like some people had some issues with it, but we were trying, because back then we were trying to figure out, can we get enough players where it actually felt like it was fun, and we just turned it down.
Yeah, Reg and Johnny are messaging me about it.
Yeah,
I don't think they realize you need to have 6 people.
Yeah, or up to. I think the things that I read was people really liked it, but that the people I've talked to in Discord who played it weren't happy with. I think they weren't happy with how it. So you played that one game. What's the game that you played where you were on a ship? Remember?
I didn't play that one.
Oh, you didn't play that one. Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
no, it's free now, by the way.
Murderous Pursuits is. Yeah,
it was free last week.
Yeah, so that's the one I was talking about. I was talking to somebody in the crew, and they were playing it. And I think what happens is it's in those games, whenever you're trying to fake that you could possibly be the NPC move and do things differently than the humans do. And there was something else about this, but yeah, we did talk about it because I got a code even for it. This was back. This was back all the way back then. This was back when you were doing a bunch of YouTube. And for whatever reason, we just decided not to do it.
Must have been too long ago. I've completely forgotten. I don't even recognize looking at it.
You don't? What do you think of it? I'll post the link so people are like not.
Yeah, it's got very positive reviews, but then if you read the reviews, they're a little less positive. But it's weird.
Yeah. I think sometimes indie game, right? Maybe like where somebody, people get
turn-based tactical multiplayer in a retro sci-fi setting with randomly assigned roles and mafia werewolf party game features. Sounds very strange, but I really like the concept.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's fun with like 4 or 5 people, I reckon.
Here it is. Here's the thing this is the review that I read and started seeing it. It says some of the cons: monsters are heavily neglected as a character. Humans have the ability to utilize cameras, and it feels incredibly one-sided. And I remember then I watched a YouTube where the guy was like, "Yeah, they it's almost like having a like Mortal Kombat versus DC fighting game, but only the DC characters are amazing or what have you." And I remember that people were complaining about that for it, but yeah, hopefully they patch it up. Those kind of games are always fun. They're I don't know if they're worth $12, but
I might jump in sometime and check it out and then refund it.
Yeah, exactly. Just jump in, refund it. Oh, somebody got mad at that video. Anything else that we've got going on?
Can't think of anything.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet.
Just make sure everyone subs to my channel. That's what I care about. I'm joking.
Everybody should subscribe for sure. I think that's about it. If you've got any questions you want to ask us, throw it in there.
Yeah, I'll ask questions because we haven't done the random question thing this week, so we should use the questions from people instead.
Oh yeah, for sure. Citizen Sleeve says maybe BioWare or maybe Dragon Age 4 will be the final act.
Maybe. I've never played a Dragon Age game. I played Inquisition. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I thought Inquisition was fairly boring. Overall.
Right. I'm going to post my link into a chat and everyone has to subscribe to it right now.
I think I felt that it didn't really do anything with its story. Like, it made me very interested. Torn417 says, are you guys watching the Game Awards tonight? Yes, we are. Absy, Dragon Age Origins was the only good one.
I'm actually going to try and stay up for that. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. I'd like to stream it. It's more exciting to stream it and watch it.
Yeah. Dragon Age Inquisition was a bit generic. Kangan says, yeah, it definitely was.
Rise my face.
Are you saying we want to hold a spot? Are you asking for a spot to be held?
I don't want to ask because if I don't make it and you've closed the spot for me, then that's not.
But when you said streaming, did you mean on your own or did you mean you wanted?
Oh no, I meant with you and Absi.
Oh, I didn't know that's what you were saying this entire time. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
there's still a spot open. I'll just, if anybody else asks, I'll just tell them no. And then if you don't come, that's fine too. But yeah,
Okay,
I even put out a alert and told everybody, hey, if you want to come.
That's what I was thinking.
Because
if you have any responses.
I thought you were, yeah, I've got a bunch. But I haven't responded to anybody because we've been in the podcast, and this morning I was too tired.
And obviously I'm priority. Look at me, I'm so cute.
Well, no, we could still put one more, and it'd be 3 of us.
Yeah.
Or it'd be 4. It wouldn't be a big deal.
I really want to stay up because watching that on my own the next day is never as fun as streaming it with you guys.
Yeah, right.
It's just I don't want to be too tired at 2 a.m. because it's 2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, so it starts for me at around 5:30. That's when we're going to start the stream.
1:30 a.m. for me.
So 1:30 a.m. for you to 3:30. So that's not too bad. You've been
it's not
up.
too bad. I could stay the next day in bed.
You've been tired when we did this, but
I just don't want that to come across. That's all.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to be on stream like going.
Are you just not a person who drinks like, I mean, like energy drinks and stuff, or?
I've never really drank energy drinks. I want to get one now though, to stay up. I might go and buy some. Well, I'm allowed them, so why not?
Yeah, that's sort of what I was getting at. I just didn't want to.
Yeah, I'm allowed them. I'm at high risk of getting diabetes, but
who isn't, right?
Exactly.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. I can fight that with an insulin injection.
Exactly. Or just fight it with spirit and drive alone, as any feel-good movie would have you believe.
I mean, if you haven't got it with the amount you drink, energy drinks, I'm fine.
Yeah, and dude, the amount is ridiculous. Well, here we go. Prior to the podcast, during the podcast.
Jesus.
So, obviously.
I know a kid with
and another.
What the fuck? Got more. I know a kid with ADHD who's got diagnosed ADHD and he drinks 4 of them a day.
Fuck yeah, man.
And
pump that
he's
shit.
He's got ADHD. Imagine how crazy he is when he's on the drink. Jesus Christ, it's insane.
Or it's go-go juice for him and he's brilliant. And that's what it does.
Maybe he's like a supervillain who needs to keep taking the drink.
Yeah, right. It's like his kryptonite. It keeps him in control. We do have a question here, which is...
That's a good question.
Top 3 games you want to play in your backlog?
I
mean, it seems like Takedown doesn't have a backlog because he fucking refunds everything.
No, I've got a huge backlog. I've got 15 game backlog on PS4.
Okay, what are the top 3?
I can go and get it if you want quickly and just show you it.
Go get it.
It's in the next room.
We'll wait. I think he's lying. He can hear me though when I said that. Lying. Just joking. I like how he's got a note on a little cabinet. It's probably like a list of things he needs to do prior to getting on the podcast, like brush teeth, comb hair, make sure I'm dressed. Okay, we're gonna pretend like we weren't saying that. Oh shit, he's back. He might have heard that. I'm just joking. Anyway, what do you got?
That's my PS4 backlog at the moment. Not too many.
So pick 3 out of there.
Well, I'm gonna go through them and then I've got that one.
Yeah.
Just bought.
Wait, what? I thought you bought that today at the store then, right?
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
yeah.
When you said you bought it, I thought Amazon or something. I didn't realize you literally went to the store. Okay, go for it. Yeah. Ooh, hit.
You ready?
Is worth it. Yeah.
You ready?
Next. Oh man, yeah, you do have an insane backlog. Don't know what that is.
Some creepy little Japanese game Rich would play.
What's that one? Oh, Dragon Quest, right?
Oh, Dragon Quest, which is another huge one.
Yeah.
Then I've got another huge one.
Gotcha.
Danganronpa. And I've got another one.
I've never heard of that in my life.
And I've got one that you reviewed about 10 years ago, or this year at some point.
Oh, wow. Okay,
so that's 2 games. Then I've got another huge one.
Yeah, that one's massive. A lot of people like Valkyria Chronicles, though.
And then Outlast 2.
I don't even know if I played an Outlast. I mean, I think I have, but I think I've only played it for such a short period of time.
Yeah, that's just my PS4 backlog.
So which of those would be your top 3?
I'd say Hitman 2, Red Dead, and Shenmue probably 1 and 2, which counts as 1, I guess.
Yeah, for me, I don't have a backlog. I have games I return to. In fact, if there's a backlog, I usually don't play those games. So a couple of us are getting a DC Universe Online game going together. That is my backlog. That's what I'll end up doing. Sims 4. I played the shit out of Sims 4 yesterday, and I'll probably play it today. Really, overall, I have a front log. Yeah, that's sort of the way I work too. And if something gets into my backlog, the chance of me ever playing it goes almost to 0. Zelda there's almost no chance of me playing Zelda, even though Takedown would probably be happy about that. But like, I played a little bit of it and then didn't get a chance to review it, and the chance of me ever turning it on is probably, I mean, very close to nil. Like, it's very close to zero. Any other questions you guys have? I have a front log. Sounds a little sexual.
Come on with your questions, baby.
Oh man, delicious Monster energy drink.
Delicious water. That's all I ever drink.
That's what I was going to ask you. You don't drink pop or anything?
No, it's bad for you. Bad for your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
As he opens one.
I've never had a cavity in my life, by the way. Ever.
Really? I have, and I only drink water, so...
Even when I was a kid. We had a well water. Did you have well water, or did you have public water?
What do you mean, well, as in from an actual well?
Yeah, we lived in sort of out of town, and so we had a well, and we got lucky.
Sounds like you lived in Africa.
No. It just normal Pacific Northwest, but it had you know, because the water comes in through the bottom of the well, it had minerals in it, and it just happened to be protective for teeth. So, like, my family's all got insanely good teeth.
No, I just have tap water.
That's why. And you're probably being controlled by the government because tap water they put fluoride
chemtrails
in
the
water.
water.
Chemtrails and fluoride. What's the worst gameplay mechanic you can't stand in games?
Weapon durability. Without the chance to repair it.
Yeah, without a fucking Zelda can die in a fire for that shit.
Silver's gonna jump into chat now and be like, "No, it's okay."
Yeah, weapon durability for sure. Like, weapon durability should not be in games. As somebody who's fucking used swords and shit and smashed them into fucking trees and everything in the world, they're not as fucking brittle as some of those games would have you believe. There's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
And I'd also say a weight limit, like Fallout. I hate that shit.
Over
encumberment. It's like, no, this isn't real. I can carry what I want because it's a video game.
You just want to be able to, sections where you're forced to walk and slow down. Yeah, I talked about that last podcast where it's like Gears of War. What was the other one? Where he's like, Batman, where he's like, Alfred, and he slows everything down. You're like, God, I wish you'd shut up.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Durability and sections where you're forced to walk slow. Good. Batteries that last 5 minutes in games. Yeah, flashlights. Alan Wake's flashlight. Alan Wake is a surprisingly amazing game, but its flashlight sucked. It's like you turn it on.
You were going to defend it. I was about to say no.
No,
that shit lasts 20 seconds. Battery.
In fact, I think the battery is the worst idea ever for like a limited thing. I mean, even worse than swords. What's up, Slambaz 2? What else we got? Is there any other things in games? Mechanics?
I can only think of ones from Zelda right now.
Yeah, no shit. I've sort of like beat it in on Zelda.
Climbing walls in the rain so you can't climb and you slip off.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Having to take all your clothes off in the lightning because you get thunderstruck.
I don't really have any other than that. I mean, durability is definitely my main one.
Just the over encumberment thing. I can't stand, really.
So, I mean, you just, even though it's a role-playing game, you're bothered by weight limits?
Yeah, because in Fallout 76, I couldn't carry anything. I had like a 250 limit, and I'd hit that every 5 seconds. And then you can't fast travel when you're over encumbered in that game.
Right. But I mean, isn't that a part of the game's way to achieve longevity? Is to make sure you have to take multiple trips, or you have to.
Yeah, but that's just forcing it. Same as having weapon durability. It's just forcing you to have to find a new weapon.
I would agree with weapon durability, but I mean. But that's because I know that most weapons hold up much better. But I would also say that if I jumped on your back and said, go fucking climb this mountain with me on your back, it'd be much harder. And there would be a time where you would collapse.
It's true, but then it's based on the weapon as well. Because if you had a wooden sword.
For sure.
So it just depends on the items, I guess.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
If you've got a wooden shield, that shit's going to break.
Citizen Sleeve says fetch quests.
I don't mind. Every quest is a fetch quest, though. Really, if you really break it down.
I don't mind them in occasionally when it gets crazy and it's like all a game has is fetch quests mostly. Go here, go there. Like our MMOs. You played MMOs where it's like, collect 10 herbs, 0 out of 10. Whenever I see that, Dragon Age
Yeah.
Inquisition was terrible for that. Dragon Age Inquisition had so many of those.
Yeah, like you can polish a turd, but it's still a fetch quest.
Chronic says, I pick up everything, so I don't like weight limits.
Yeah, same.
Absy, I like small inventory spaces, especially when you have
I
to
bet he
manage your
does.
inventory.
Coming from Absy, that just sounds dirty.
Do you know what I
small
like in inventory?
spaces.
I like auto sorting. If there's no auto sorting in inventory, it bothers the fuck out of me.
What you mean, sort by weight, sort by value, that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Get rid of the heaviest shit, yeah.
Yeah. I definitely feel that when it comes down to it, and you're trying to sort space, and it's an action game, and bad guys around you, and you're trying to grab something, throw it in your inventory, I'd rather have that, sort of replaced by something else. Has anybody else got any questions before we wrap this up? And if you don't get a chance to jump into the stream, I will try to post it tomorrow. Most likely, I'll try to post that to YouTube.
I'll post it on YouTube as well.
But if you guys get a chance, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time tonight, it's going to be sort of late for some of you guys. Slam Baz says, are you going to review Smash Brothers? No, I am not. Unfortunately, I did not get a code for that. And so I took this time to relax for a little bit. Come out of an incredibly busy 2018. It's almost stupidly busy. Been nice to sort of relax, do a couple random YouTube videos. Oh, also, if you guys get a chance, I would absolutely love for you to spread the word on Twitch, Twitter, what have you, including for Takedown, who looks like a gomer right now. The fuck are you doing? You look like a little kid, really proud to have picked your own booger. Do you have anything, Takedown, before we close this out?
I have a YouTube channel. That's about it.
YouTube channel. Check out his YouTube channel. Check out mine. Peace out, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week.